And welcome back to round 4 of FDV's Tournament Qualifiers. This time it is going to be The versus Ghostking. The will be our blue Zerg up in the top right, and Ghostking will be our yellow Terran in the bottom left. The map, Star Station. Now, I gotta say, I really like Star Station. Well, I like it now that it's forced cross spawns only. Before, yeah, spawning right next to a Zerg, not great. Just get destroyed right away by the roach push. But with the cross spawns, we get to see a much more macro game. Honestly, I feel it sort of favors Zerg just a tad because of how open and how many attack paths there are. If you take this or this as your third, you're almost impossible to wall this off efficiently. And you've got all, this huge ramp here and this huge area here. There isn't really a good spot to park your army to stop a Zerg from running Zerglings by. Obviously, we've got this wall, or this area here. It's a nice choke. You can wall that off. The third base often decides a game. We'll see what happens in this one. Looks like neither of them are going to be going for any early rush plays. That makes a lot of sense, especially considering the map. It's a very large distance between these two places. Not the best kind of area for a rush. That being said, I have ran into quite an amount of proxies here. And even from Zerg, proxy hatch like right there, and you're just macroing away, busy, and all of a sudden you see creep just crawling up there, and you're like, oh. And the queen's already out, the spine crawler's already done, and you know it's over. You've been proxy hatched. Of course, that will not be happening in this game. Looks like the actual first scout is going to be an overlord who is going to be scouting every corner of the map, even though it is physically impossible for ghosts to spawn in either of these locations. Ghost Scout is going to find extractor and a spawning pool. That could mean a pretty dangerous play. We might be seeing either speedlings or even a baneling bust, though I would honestly peg the down for a speedling expand type deal. Just knowing him, I don't think he's going to be aggressive early. It's just not quite his thing. He does seem to be banking a lot, though, maybe saving up for an expand or two, a couple of lings, probably a queen and expand, maybe some lings out then as well. That would be my bet. And there's the queen. And, nope, drones being rallied into the gas. I guess he's not really concerned about getting that right away. We do have a couple of barracks done for Ghostking. He's got some marines on the way. No gas, though, so we should either be seeing an expand. Nope, there's the gas. I was about to say we should either be seeing an expansion or just, a couple more barracks, maybe even some 2-racks pressure. 2-racks pressure not all that strong on this map because of that long distance. You're almost, it's just you can't get there in time before they have something out. This Overlord's just moseying along, making its way down. It will eventually scout this, probably dying to the Marines. Don't really think there's much of a way that it can avoid that. Unless he, pulls it back right now. That drone is going to tell him where Ghostking is, and there is the expansion. Got some Zerglings on the way. No speed, not yet. He is still building up the gas for it, banking on a lot of minerals. On the other hand, we do see he's pulled the Overlord back. But it looks like Ghost is not letting him get away with it. That Overlord is doomed. It's just like, oh god, help me. Help me. Lord Overmind, help me. Yeah, it does not work. I mean, Overlords don't pray well, I guess. Wow, I need to work on my jokes. Anyway, moving on. We do have an expansion out for And this is going to make a difference, as Ghostking is not even making a move to expand yet. Would love to see an orbital out of him and having a couple more workers in gas. Looks like he's going to be very aggressive here pretty soon, throwing down some extra barracks, getting his tech lab out, maybe for stim, combat shield. I wouldn't be too surprised to see a couple of marauders, maybe, just again knowing him. But I would be surprised to see Roach play out of the... I feel he is sort of a more mutaling player, honestly. Though I could be wrong, I don't actually see him play Zerg all that much. I probably should mention that the was in fact at the time of this game a starter, hence why it is on Star Station. He has since purchased the game and so is now able to play whatever he wants. But I haven't seen him play Zerg all that much at this point. Will be interesting to see what he brings to the table. A lot of Zerglings. I mean, this is looking quite aggressive right now from both players. Not going to be a very long match. I think you just ignore this right here. It means nothing because it's peep mode. There's several games in each one, so I don't even think, yeah, the rest of the games in this are not even tournament matches, just practice ones. And yep, there's our Marauder. No Marauder slow, no stim, and no combat shield. And, oh, there's the orbital command. Finally, we do have speed on the way, that metabolic boost getting done. Have you ever wondered about metabolic boost? I mean, if it's boosting their metabolism, does that mean that lings have to eat more, or there's no such thing as a fat Zergling? I don't know. Maybe that's a breakthrough in diet. Metabolic boost. Yeah, all you have to do is become Zerg. Just become Zerg and lose some weight. That's how it works. Maybe the Marauders should learn that. Anyways, we are seeing a command center come down inside the main. I do like that. It is much safer than putting it down at the expansion just because, well, Zergling run-bys, as I've said, there is no wall. I don't think he could stop it. I mean, even a Widow Mine really can't stop run-bys without something to prevent it, because one ling, or, you know, a bunch of lings will die, and then the rest of the lings will just charge right on through. That's just how it happens. And once again, my mouse has froze. We have no idea why this happens. I don't know why it happens. I think it's because the internet hates me. That's my opinion. The internet hates me. That's just how it works. Alright, seeing a bunch of things here, coming down, and it looks like we are having a slight technical difficulty. We will be right. And we are back. You viewers on YouTube probably should not notice any delays in the feed. We'll get that video all fixed up nice for you. What happened there was Fraps decided to crash on us. It's alright. Everything is working again, and we are looking at some very aggressive and dangerous looking army here. Lots of Marauders, some Marines. Honestly, I don't like them. I mean, it looks scary, but that's probably because I'm a Toss player. And when you see a lot of Marauders as Toss, you start to worry. That Marauder's slow, and the damage they do to Stalkers just can be scary. This amount of lings, though, heck, that might actually be able to take that. They're not even going to see these lings here. Sort of dangerous. Anything could happen right now. And is that, what are those, unbuildable plates? Huh. Anyway, he is going to see that Marauder Marine ball moving out. It's just going to pass right through the watchtower's range. He is going to know precisely what is going on, and there comes the flood of lings. And Burrow, that's an interesting choice. I wonder what he'll do with that. Maybe we will be seeing some roaches after all. But there is the Spire, as I said before, much more expecting to see Mutalisks out of our player, though he is keeping his options open. There is the Hydralisk Den. Stim and combat shield on the way. Stim will not be done in time for the push, and I feel that is sort of a mistake. Without Stim, he sort of in danger here. Oh, a little bit of army management going on, putting the Marines at the back to soak up, so that the Marauders will soak up damage. I guess that makes some sense. I mean, the Lings will hard counter the Marauders, so you will want something to deal with that, and if the Marines die first, well, tough luck. And here are the Mutalisks. Now, I still think it would be interesting if Zerg had an air unit that could burrow. It would, like, dive into the ground, maybe in Legacy of the Void or something. They should do that. It would be pretty awesome. We do see Marauder Slow is in effect. That is a pretty useful upgrade. It will not help versus Mutalisks because Marauders can't shoot up. Yeah, and is he gonna... Yeah, he's lost the hatch. Those Lings are coming back all the way from that natural. They are going to clean this up with those Mutalisks. If he gets on that ramp, though, he might be able to hold this off. He just needs to get on the ramp. Just get on the ramp. It's a nice choke point. The Lings can't surround it. Yeah, he's not going to do it. The Lings are just going to murder this group. In the meantime, the Mutalisks are moving out. 4 Mutalisks are going to come down here. Do we have anything to defend? We have 4 Marauders. They are not going to help. These Mutalisks are completely uncontested. This is not good. If he just goes right for those workers. He goes right for the SC... Okay. Well, he's going to ignore the SCVs for now and attempt to focus down the barracks. If he went for the SCVs, he could probably kill most of them right now. There isn't even engineering base down. He's just throwing them down, trying to get a couple of Marines out. He does not have a reactor on any of these barracks. I don't think he's going to be able to produce Marines faster than the Mutalisks can kill them, especially with Mutal Regen. He looks like he's going to be able to focus down one of the Mutalisks. I don't think he could beat the others, but they run anyway. We're now going to see, I guess, some 3 Muta harassment. They come around the side here. Have you ever noticed how cool this looks? Just amazing. What are Terran and Zerg doing fighting over something that is so obviously Protoss? I don't know. I don't know if they know. They're just sort of fighting. I mean, Zerg definitely doesn't know. They have no idea what they're doing. They're just sort of there and killing things. No idea what Terrans are doing. Has anybody ever wondered why there are just mineral veins on top of a Protoss ship? I've always wondered that. Even all the way back to StarCraft 1, it's like, this is a space platform, and I'm like, okay, what are these minerals doing here? Do minerals grow on space platforms? Is that just something that happens? I don't know. What I do know is that mining time has been substantially delayed here. He does have enough bank to do some things anyway. That mining time delay is not probably going to hurt him all that much. But on the other hand, there have been no delays and he has his second base back on the way after its untimely demise. Also a bunch of Hydralisks. They will not have any roach support. I guess Hydraling might be possible. It might be a viable technique. I've never really heard of anybody doing that. But hey, it might work. Who knows? We'll find out. I do think that without Medivacs, this is very much weaker to a Hydraling type just attack. It's simply because when you stim, you're losing 10-20% of your health off every unit you stim. I mean, so that's 10 health off the Marine, like 20 health off the Marauder, and Lings don't do all that much damage. So if you lose 10 health, that's like 2 hits that they don't have to do to kill you. Well, Hydralisks are sort of the same way. They actually have decent damage, but where their damage really comes from is their DPS. Their damage per second. They attack quite quickly. So if you stim, you lose a lot of time versus them, especially without Medivacs. Without Medivacs, that is a problem, and I believe Ghostking has decided the same thing here. He is getting starports out, he has +1 on the way, but this is starting to look sort of scary out of quite the Hydralisk count. Not that many Lings. Does have a few Mutalisks remaining. I don't think they're going to be able to do much. This is now ringed in missile turrets. There is sort of this Ninja expansion, I believe that's Husky's term, it might have been day 9. Not sure, whatever, I'm stealing from them both. It's fine, just deal with it. That ninja expansion, and an expansion to his 3rd. Ghostking is still on 1 base, and getting mined out from it. This is certainly not good. He no longer has his ridiculous bank. Not sure what he can do at this point. There is supply drops going on there. I would have preferred to have seen mules, but there really isn't much point to mules when you only have 5 mineral patches to work on. I guess in the end, in this specific situation, which you really should never be in, supply drops are more useful simply because, again, you're mining this as fast as you possibly can anyways. Alright, we're seeing double Evo chamber on the way, and hive tech sort of developed into a macro-esque game. I want to say macro-esque because I don't really think this counts as macro from Ghost. He's not actually doing anything. We do see a Ling burrowed here. You know, I don't actually know if that is close enough to the center to delay an orbital from landing. It might be, but I don't know. I feel that an orbital might be able to fit there optimally. Just barely. We'll find out if Ghostking ever decides to expand. In the meantime, we have those Evo chambers finished. There's a scan. It's going to reveal some double scan. There you go. That's the majority of his army, and he knows it. What are we going to see here? Because right now, despite the fact that he's been on 1 base, he has a mildly scary army. It's, you know, 2 medevacs, 20 marauders, 19 marines, stim and +1. That's going to be pretty good. These units here do not have any upgrades whatsoever. We are seeing a Roach Warren coming down. Not sure if that's the right choice considering the amount of marauders on the field. I do feel like sticking with light units. That Ling Hydra is awkward as a composition as it is, might be the better choice just with all those marauders. A lot more Lings, honestly, than Hydralisks, because Hydralisks are fragile and expensive. Whereas Lings are fragile, but you get 2 of them and they're super inexpensive. Lings are free. Lings are actually free. They cost nothing. They just appear out of thin air, and that's just what happens. Ultralisk Cavern on the way. This is going to make a huge difference. Ultralisks are very good against Terran Bio if the Bio is not microed correctly. I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see that level of micro out of Ghostking. That armory is on the way. Looks like we have something supply blocked in that factory. Let's see what that is. Thor's. You know, if he had scouted, has he scouted this? I feel he has not scouted. He has not scouted that. I was going to say that if he had scouted that, Thors are rather effective against Ultralisks. Their splash damage doesn't mean very much against something that's that big, you know, so they don't get that massive amount of ability, and Thors do an incredible amount of damage. It's just phenomenal. So Thor is actually in some way the right choice here. I will say, yeah, especially with the roaches out, if he was a lot more Ling heavy, Thors might not be the best, because Ling Ultra murders Thors fairly well without, you know, some sort of support like Hellbats, something like that. And there's your Thor, and if you just look at that damage, 30 damage per attack, and keep in mind there are 2 attacks at range 7. That means it's going to hit like 60, and there's the scan, sees the burrow, you know, so now that's completely ineffective. I don't like burrowing like this unless you know you can take them by surprise. There's not much you can do. They will, if they know you're there, you're just letting them get into range. Because really all this is going to do is help your Lings and your Roaches. They won't have to be under fire as they come up to attack. Because, you know, if you have Marines here, and they're attacking this way, and your Lings are here, when your Lings attack, they're going to get shot as they move down this area. And that's not good. You mean that you'll lose a bunch of lings just right here before they even make it to the Marines. If you're burrowed, the Marines can walk over and you can unburrow them and just start attacking immediately. Save some lings, give some surprises. You know, that's how it works. But if they know you're here, you're just weakening your own cause. They'll be able to get more of their army in range of some of your longer range things, or even avoid it altogether and like siege up here. Or just take medevacs and boost over here. You're burrowed. You have a much slower reaction time. And this push, this is actually a pretty smart push. I mean, it's sort of accidentally smart, but if he can kill this off, he has enough. He has enough to kill those forces off. If he stops that before the Ultralisk, he has 10 seconds. 5 seconds he can do. If he just... Oh, it's too late. Those Ultralisks are going to be done. I think he missed his chance. I think that might have been the game. And what is this? We do see a queen off of creep getting slowed by a marauder. That is, yeah, that means that queen is moving at 0.47 movement speed, which is, yeah, queen off creep slowed by marauder. Wow, it's like watching paint dry. And there's the unburrow. I really like that choice. Not a smart idea to be burrowed right there. And what the? Looks like he knows he knew they were there. Uh-oh. Oh no. He's gonna... He has to know they're burrowed. I mean... Oh, and the Ultralisks are in the perfect position. There's the scan, but it's too late. They're already out. The Ultralisks are just going to melt their way through this. He needs to micro back. The Wings and Thors are just keeping him in there. And oh gosh, oh no, and they're focus firing down the Ultralisks. The Hydralisks are just tearing everything to shreds. And the Thors are going to die. There's still some units left. Doesn't matter. It's over for Terran. I would not even be surprised to see a GG, except that I've never seen any of them do that when it's obvious that they will lose. So there you have it. He is not even mining during all of this. He has 35 minerals, 1200 gas, and nothing. And, oh, is that command center placed right? I feel like it... Okay. Maybe I've been watching too much Bronze League Heroes, but I feel like that is not placed right. I mean, there is that lane there, which means that, I mean, if it... I don't... God. Is it odd that I want to take command of this game just to find out whether or not that command center is placed correctly? Yeah, it's just odd. So we are seeing basically nothing out of Ghost. He has nothing he can do. He has no minerals. He is just mining. His income is less than and the only has 30 workers. He does have 4 hatches up, but he only has, oh nope, there we go, 35. He is starting to drone a bit more at the 28-minute mark. A little late, but hey, you know what? He's got 50% more workers than his opponent. That is good, though on the other hand, Ghost is using some mules now. That is going to really boost his income. I'm not sure what he's going to do with it. I feel he does not have the production. He does not have... I mean, he really is missing some reactor barracks, and there is not really anything he can do at this point. And there are simply... the deck is too stacked against him. Yeah, not sure what he can do. So, anyway, we are now seeing a push out. I feel like this could have been a much stronger push. He didn't need to do that like this. He could have waited, or at least brought these roaches and Ultralisks along. I mean, just, that would have been... whoa, wait for it. Looks like a little bit of Muniverse here. Those 2 Marines have been tasked with beating everything on the map, basically. Their goal is to... they're dead. No, he's going to no, he saved it only to let it die a second later. I was about to say Gosu Marine saving micro, not really sure how it will help. That tank needs to siege up if he plans to survive this push. I'm not sure if there's a point to surviving this push. His worker count is plummeting, and it's dope. Oh gosh. Those SCVs there are like, yeah, we're taking a break during the apocalypse. I mean, I know we're dead, but just let us rest, man. Do you really need more gas? Do you really need more gas? And those Mutalisks, Hydralisks don't really stand a chance there. On the other hand, pretty much at this point, it's the game. The units are free as far as the is concerned, because he has effectively 2 bases worth of work. Yeah, let's just say 2 bases worth of workers compared to 0. I mean, literally, he's mining off a geyser. Now he's going to try and long distance mine, I think. That's not going to do much. That is not going to do much. There come the Ultralisks, sort of the nails in the coffin. They won't be able to do much because, like I said, Thors are good. But those roaches should clean this up if they focus down the tank. I guess they'll do it anyways, but they would not have lost nearly so much if they had just gone for the tank first. Thors cannot kill roaches in a single hit. It takes them a couple, and Thors do not have the fastest attack speed. Tanks, on the other hand, have that splash damage and do extra damage to armored. So yeah, keep in mind that when you do a supply drop, it really makes you vulnerable. Supply drops, I mean, you should never really do them in the first place. But if you must do them, if you feel you absolutely have to do a supply drop, never do it as part of your wall-off. You'll notice that everyone killed then drops his supply count by 16. And that can be very dangerous, especially if this was, not the ending push, basically. I mean, yeah, I'm not even sure if these Marauders can kill these roaches off. And there's Burrow, he's probably going to regenerate, but there is a missile turret here, so that's going to cost him rather than save him. And a misclick on that barracks, going to absorb some of the damage. He's going for the tech lab. It's not really a bad choice. I mean, he really could just send like 1 million units right now. Mutalisks showing up to the party, not really sure why. They're just going to die right there. Probably not even going to do. And they do manage to light the missile turret on fire. Let's just give them all a big barrel. Nope, that was the roaches. Never mind. And here comes the Lings. Basically to seal the deal. Does he have any units whatsoever? He has 5 SCVs. These 5 SCVs, yeah, they've got to win the game. Nope, there it goes. And we have our winner. The now is 1 win, 2 losses, and Ghostking is 0 wins, 1 loss.